Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a feeling in your gut that someone close to you doesn't really have your best interests at heart? You can't quite put your finger on it, but something just isn't right. They smile in your face, laugh at your jokes, pat you on the back, but deep down you sense that it's all an act. See, life has a way of revealing people's true colors. You don't always have to hear the words, you just have to watch their actions. The energy they bring when you succeed, the way they react when you struggle, the subtle shifts in tone, the passive-aggressive remarks, the quiet sabotage disguised as concern. These things aren't always loud, but if you pay attention, they're impossible to ignore. So tonight I want to talk about the signs, the warning lights flashing in front of you that someone in your circle, maybe even someone you love, doesn't love you back, not truly, not in a way that's honest. Because recognizing these signs could save you from heartache, wasted time, and even betrayal. Here are 7 key signs that someone close to you secretly hates you. They downplay your success. Success has a way of exposing the real ones in your life. See, when you start winning, whether it's a promotion, a personal achievement, or even just a moment of happiness, some people won't clap for you the way they should. Instead, they'll act like it's no big deal. They'll nod, force a smile, maybe give you a half-hearted, "That's cool," but deep down they're boiling. Why? Because your success reminds them of everything they haven't done. And it doesn't stop there. Pay attention to the little things they say when you share your wins. "Must be nice. You got lucky. I mean, it's not that impressive." These aren't just words. These are signs that deep down, they don't want to see you shine. They want you to doubt yourself, to feel like you don't deserve what you've earned. And if you're not careful, you might start believing them. But don't be fooled. People who love you will uplift you. They'll celebrate with you, not try to shrink your moment. A person who secretly hates you will make you feel guilty for winning. They'll remind you of all the things you haven't done yet just to bring you back down. That's not love, that's resentment. And let's be real, sometimes the most dangerous kind of hate is the one that comes with a smile. They won't outright tell you they don't like seeing you win. No, they'll disguise it as a joke, a playful jab, a backhanded compliment. "Wow, I never thought you, of all people, would make it this far." They'll act like they're teasing, but you can feel the sting underneath. So listen closely. Watch how they react when you elevate. A real friend will cheer you on, but someone who secretly despises you, they'll try to make sure your success doesn't feel as sweet. And when you notice it, don't ignore it. Because someone who can't celebrate you is someone who deep down doesn't want to see you win at all. Their support feels hollow. Some people in your life will pretend to be in your corner, but their support will never feel real. It'll feel forced, distant, almost like they're obligated to say something positive, but their heart isn't in it. They'll show up when they have to, but you'll notice their energy is off. Their words sound right, but their tone tells another story. See, real support comes with enthusiasm. It's genuine. It doesn't need to be asked for. But when someone secretly hates you, their support will always feel like a transaction. They'll do the bare minimum, just enough to keep up appearances, just enough to make sure you don't suspect anything. And when you look around, you'll notice something. They're not clapping the loudest when it matters most. Watch how they respond when you need them. Are they present or do they disappear? Do they show up for you the way you show up for them, or do they always have an excuse? A person who secretly hates you will make sure they never give you too much of their energy. They don't want you to feel valued. They don't want you to feel like you're important, because the moment you do, you might start expecting more from them, and that's the last thing they want. And when they do show up, they make sure it's noticeable. See, I'm here, aren't I? I said, congratulations, what more do you want? They'll do just enough so they can't be called out, but never enough to make you feel truly supported, because their support isn't about you. It's about maintaining an image. So don't just listen to words, feel the energy. Because real love, real friendship, real support is something you don't have to question. And if you have to keep wondering whether or not someone is truly on your side, chances are they're not. They celebrate your failures. The easiest way to tell if someone truly cares about you is to see how they react when you fall. When you stumble, when life hits you hard, when you take a loss, are they there to lift you up? Or do they secretly enjoy it? Do they offer comfort, or do they hit you with, "I told you so"? Do they check in, or do they disappear until your moment of weakness is over? See, a real friend, a real ally, will never take joy in your struggles. But someone who secretly hates you, oh, they'll never say it out loud, but deep down, they're glad you're hurting. It makes them feel better about their own life. It reassures them that you're not doing too much better than them. And here's the thing, they won't always celebrate your failures openly. No, they'll do it in subtle ways. Maybe they won't say anything at all. Maybe they'll act uninterested, as if your struggles don't concern them. Or maybe they'll try to mask their satisfaction with fake sympathy. Man, that's tough. But hey, at least now you know not to get your hopes up too high next time. That's not support, that's disguised relief. And sometimes they'll even use your failures against you. They'll bring them up in conversations, remind you of your mistakes, make sure you never forget that moment when things didn't go your way. Why? Because as long as they can keep you focused on your past losses, you won't have the confidence to chase future wins. So watch closely. Pay attention to who is there for you in the dark times. Because the people who want to see you lose, the people who enjoy your pain, they were never for you to begin with. They disrespect you in subtle ways. Disrespect doesn't always come with shouting, cursing, or outright insults. Sometimes it comes wrapped in a joke, a smirk, a dismissive attitude that makes you feel small without them ever having to raise their voice. And if you're not paying attention, you might even start thinking you're the problem, that maybe you're being too sensitive, that maybe they didn't mean it like that. But let me tell you something. Real respect doesn't leave room for confusion. A person who secretly hates you will disrespect you in ways that make it hard to call them out. They'll interrupt you when you're speaking, brush off your opinions like they don't matter, or always find a way to make your ideas seem less important. They'll joke about your insecurities, say things that cut deep, and then laugh it off like it's no big deal. And if you bring it up, man, I was just playing, you take things too seriously. See, that's the trick. They want you to doubt yourself. They want you to question if you're overreacting. And it's not just about words, it's about actions. Maybe they always show up late when it's your event, but they're on time for everyone else. Maybe they forget important things about you, your birthday, your big moments, but they never forget when it comes to other people. These small things add up. They're messages. They're telling you, without saying it outright, that they don't value you the way you deserve to be valued. But the worst part, they'll make sure no one else sees it. In front of others, they might act like the best friend you could ask for. They'll hype you up, pretend to be in your corner, play the role so well that if you ever told someone about their disrespect, they might not even believe you. And that's how they keep you trapped, questioning yourself, wondering if maybe you're imagining it. But you're not. Because respect isn't just about how someone treats you when everyone's watching. It's about how they treat you when no one else is around. And if you constantly feel like someone close to you is chipping away at your self-worth, making you feel small in ways you can't quite explain, don't ignore that feeling. That's not love. That's hidden resentment. They try to isolate you from others. One of the most dangerous signs that someone secretly hates you is when they start isolating you from others. See, people who don't truly want the best for you don't just want to see you fail. They want to make sure you don't have anyone else to lift you up when you start falling. And how do they do that? By slowly cutting you off from the people who actually care about you. It starts subtly. Maybe they plant little seeds of doubt in your mind. I don't think she really has your back like that. Man, I heard he was talking about you behind your back. They create tension where there wasn't any. Make you question the relationships that actually serve you. And before you know it, you're looking at your real friends with suspicion while the real enemy is standing right next to you. And it's not just about words, it's about actions too. They'll make plans without inviting you, but when you confront them, they'll act like it was an innocent mistake. They'll keep you out of conversations that involve people who could support you. They'll discourage you from reaching out to new circles, to new opportunities, to new friendships. Man, you don't need them, you got me. But the truth is, they don't want you to have anyone else. Because the moment you do, their control over you starts to weaken. And let's be real, someone who genuinely loves you will want you to have strong relationships. They won't feel threatened by your connections. They won't get jealous when you spend time with other people. They won't try to be the only person in your life who holds influence over you. But someone who secretly hates you, they'll isolate you, not because they care about you, but because they know that as long as you're alone, you're easier to manipulate. But the worst part, they'll convince you that they're the only one you can trust. And that's where the real danger lies. Because when you start believing them, when you start cutting off the people who actually want to see you win, you become dependent on the one person who never wanted you to succeed in the first place. So be careful. Pay attention to the ones who make you doubt your real friends. Pay attention to the ones who make you feel like you have no one but them. Because real love doesn't isolate, it expands. And if someone in your life is trying to shrink your world, it's because they don't want you to see just how many people would actually stand beside you if given the chance. They exclude you from opportunities. A real friend, a real supporter will want to see you grow. They'll bring your name up in rooms where opportunities exist. They'll share resources, put you in touch with the right people, and make sure you're moving forward with them. But someone who secretly hates you, They'll do the opposite. They'll keep information to themselves. They'll make moves in silence, not because they're private, but because they don't want you to benefit. Pay attention to the conversations you're left out of, the events you find out about after they've already happened, the moments where you realize that something that could help you was right in front of you, but no one bothered to tell you. That's not an accident. That's a choice. And when it keeps happening over and over again, it's a sign. And it's not just about what they don't tell you. It's about what they tell others. Because while they're keeping opportunities away from you, they're making sure other people get them. They're looking out for others, making connections, being the person who puts people on, just not you. And if you ask them about it, oh man, I didn't even think about it. I didn't know you'd be interested. But that's a lie. They knew, they just didn't want you to have it. Because deep down, they don't want you to rise too high. They don't want you to surpass them. And in their mind, if they can keep you just one step behind, if they can make sure you never quite reach your full potential, they'll always have the upper hand. But let me tell you something, the right people want to see you win. The right people share opportunities. And if someone in your circle is keeping you in the dark, it's because they're afraid of your light. They compete with you instead of supporting you. Healthy competition is one thing. It can push you, challenge you, make you better. But there's a difference between friendly motivation and someone treating you like their personal rival. And when someone secretly hates you, they don't just want to keep up with you, they want to beat you. See, a person like this will never just let you have your moment. If you achieve something, they immediately have to remind you of what they've done. You get a promotion, suddenly they're talking about how their job is way harder than yours. You accomplish a goal, they make sure to mention that they did something similar years ago. They can't let you have the spotlight even for a second. And it goes beyond words. They'll copy your moves. If you start a business, they'll suddenly have one too. If you take up a new hobby, they'll magically be interested in the same thing. Not because they actually care, but because they can't stand the idea of you doing something they're not. It eats them up inside to see you thrive in ways they haven't. But the worst part, they'll never admit it. If you bring it up, they'll act confused. Man, what are you talking about? I've been doing this for a while. I'm just inspired by you. But inspiration and competition aren't the same. One lifts you up, the other tries to keep you down. And someone who truly supports you will never feel the need to turn everything into a race. So watch how people react when you grow. Are they happy for you, or do they suddenly feel the need to outdo you? Because real love doesn't compete. Real love stands beside you, not against you. They speak ill of you behind your back. Let's be clear. If someone loves and respects you, they will not talk down on your name when you're not in the room. Period. But a person who secretly hates you, they'll smile in your face and then turn around and poison your name the moment you leave. They won't always say outright lies. No, they're smarter than that. Instead, they'll twist the truth. They'll share your struggles with just a little extra negativity. Yeah, she got that promotion, but honestly, she's not even that good at her job. Yeah, he's doing well now, but we'll see how long that lasts. They plant doubt in other people's minds so that when you do succeed, it's never seen as fully deserved. And here's how you'll know. People will start acting differently toward you. You'll notice strange energy in rooms you walk into. People who once admired you will seem distant. Conversations will shift in ways that feel off. And when you trace it back, you'll realize it all started after someone you trusted got the chance to speak on your behalf. But here's the truth. People who talk behind your back are already behind you. They can't bring you down unless you give them the power to. So when you find out someone has been moving like this, don't waste time trying to fix it. Don't beg for their approval. Just keep rising, because your success is the one thing they fear the most. Ladies and gentlemen, life is too short to surround yourself with people who secretly root against you. Pay attention. Energy never lies. If someone constantly makes you question where you stand, if their presence drains you more than it uplifts you, if their actions don't match their words, trust that feeling, because real love, real support, real friendship, it's consistent, it's genuine, and when you find it, you'll never have to wonder if it's real. So do yourself a favor, let go of the ones who secretly hate you. Because the moment you do, you make room for the ones who truly love you.